Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to round number one of the FTX Crypto Cup in Miami, Florida. And one of the most intriguing rivalries in chess is here in Miami between Magnus Carlsen and Anish Giri. We all know this too. They're bantering on Chess24 and on Twitter. Yeah. So let's take a look at what happened in their mini match. Okay, again, the format here, it's a round robin, but four games of rapid each player per match. Yeah. Now, the first two games in this match between Carlsen and Geary were drawn. So let's take a look at game number three, the decisive game. Geary was white. Carlsen, the trademark surprise first move with the French. I mean, Carlsen can play anything, but normally he would go for e5, solid e5 with the Italian, with the Berlin or the Roy Lopez, but not so much about the French. He had a good win also against Geary with the Caro-Kann, but this time it's the French. d5, e5, okay, c5, c3. We have the advanced variation of the French, knight into c6, knight f3, bishop e7, bishop e2, knight e7, castle takes, knight f5. Okay, this is typical. Two knights attacking d4, plus the queen will go to b6. So the target will be the d4 backward pawn, yeah? So knight into c3, rook c8, king h1, a6. Quite interesting that Carlsen delays his castling, delays his bishop move. Bishop g5. Okay, I believe the point of king h1 is to play g4. But Geary went for bishop g5. I don't know why. Just to be consistent with the plan, I think g4 should be played here. Now knight h4, for example, takes, and queen takes. Then just go bishop e3. Yeah. King h1, bishop g5. I'm not sure about the relation with this tool. Yeah. Queen b6, good, of course, good counterplay by Magnus. I mean, a threat on d4 with the two knights and the queen. This becomes a waste. The bishop g5 move was a waste. He probably thought that there's knight a4, but Magnus just simply moves back his queen to a7, keeping an eye on d4. And had to move back on e3. Waste move. Bishop e7. Now, it's too late to go g4 here because there's knight takes e3. Okay, Geary had to play a3, b5. He has to move back. He lost one tempo here, lost another tempo on a4. Castles, bishop d3. Okay, takes. This is also a good reaction from Magnus. Wait for the opponent to attack the knight before you react with knight takes e3. Saves time. Okay, b4 takes, e4. Alright, mistake. Takes, of course, bishop takes, and takes. Problem would be the d4 pawn. h6, not allowing knight g5, either e or f. Yeah. Rook into e1, a5. Now, Geary couldn't take that pawn on a6 because Carlsen will just play queen b8. The threat would be bishop b5. If you play knight into c3, this queen takes b2 as well. Yes. If you take it with the queen, this queen takes a6 and bishop b5 double attack. So it's not possible to take on a6. It's the reason why he played rook fe1. Now he threatens to take now, but push. And then bishop c6 attacking the knight. Another interesting move by Magnus, because if you take on a5, takes, is the dark square bishop getting the double attack. If you take with the rook, it's the same thing. Queen b7, threat to the knight, and also b4. At the same time, also the threat on f3, x-ray. So queen f4 played, queen into b8, rook b2, a4, queen g4, queen b5. hitting the rook. Bishop b4 takes on e1, d5, queen d3, finish. Bishop takes, king h8, no mate, queen d2, c1, and then icing on the cake with queen e1. Back rank mate by Magnus. The rook takes e1, rook takes e1 is checkmate. All right, winning with the French. I think that opening was a surprise for Giri. You can see what happened in the game. He was hesitant to play king h1 and then play g4, with bishop g5. So he wasn't so sure about his plans. So that's the surprise factor right away. You were not expecting the French, so he had some doubts. Yeah, he had some doubts with his plans. He was expecting Italian, Roy Lopez, or Berlin from Magnus, but it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't what he was expecting. Let's check out the must-win game by Giri in game number 4. Take a look at the critical position here. It's a London system. Sorry, it was a Tory attack. It's a Tory attack here with bishop g5. Yeah. And here Magnus played the winning move e5 to free up his bishop on g6. f5, another strong move. Giri's king is just under fire. Counterplay? No. Takes. Magnus just bypassed the pawn. Didn't want to take it. Queen takes. Bishop c8. Exchange the queen. Takes. And then the final move, knight f5. Giri resigned. What to do here? How can you stop e7? Awkward looking move, knight g8 runs into rook d7. Unstoppable pawn, yeah. You cannot play king g8, there's knight e7, double attack to the rook. You cannot play rook c7, there's rook d8. Game over. King has no pawn in front, but it's safe compared to this king. And with that, Magnus wins the match with 2 decisive wins. So he gets 3 points for this match against Giri, and not only getting the win, but also a bragging rights, especially with these two. Yeah, this very intense rivalry with these two guys, Giri and Magnus. Both of them played a forgettable Olympiad. Yeah, especially for Magnus. Norway lost to the Philippines in the last round with Magnus not playing because he was also -4. He didn't gain rating in the Olympiad. He lost 4 rating points. Although he didn't lose a game, but being the world number 1 with 2.8 plus, you're expected to almost win every game because if not, a draw would lose rating points. So that was it. Another win by Magnus. Magnus is Magnus. All right, thank you guys for supporting our channel, Charles Max Chess and Charles Max Entertainment on Facebook and YouTube. We will continue to cover the FTX Crypto Cup Champions Chess Tour in the days to come. This is Coach Oliver. Stay safe, everyone, and bye-bye.